Welcome to World Information HD, the channel where knowledge meets value, and where every coin in your pocket could hide a small fortune. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and fascinating modern coins that still circulates in the United States, the 2016 P Mint marked Jefferson nickel, a coin that many of us might overlook every single day without realizing how much it could actually be worth. So, before you toss that change into a jar, you might want to take a closer look. Because what seems like a simple 5-cent coin might be something much more valuable than you ever imagined. The Jefferson nickel has been a familiar part of American life for more than 8 decades. From vending machines to supermarket counters, it has quietly passed from hand to hand since 1938, carrying not just a monetary value but also a piece of U.S. history. But as we step into the modern era, some of these seemingly ordinary nickels have become the focus of collectors, historians, and numismatists around the world. And among these, the 2016 P Jefferson nickel stands out for reasons that might surprise you. Let's begin with the basics. The 2016 P nickel was minted in Philadelphia. That's what the P Mint mark stands for. Philadelphia is one of the oldest and most active U.S. mints, and it's responsible for producing billions of coins each year. In 2016, it produced an enormous number of Jefferson nickels, yet within that massive mintage hides a secret, a few rare varieties that make this particular year highly desirable to collectors. The obverse of the coin, or the front side, features the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. His face has been on the nickel since 1938. But the design you see on the 2016 version is part of the modernized look introduced in 2006, where Jefferson's gaze faces forward rather than in profile, giving him a more direct and powerful presence. Below Jefferson's portrait is the mint mark, P, and next to it, the word Liberty, written in Jefferson's own handwriting, a beautiful detail that connects us to history in an intimate way. Now, flip it over, and you'll find Monticello, Jefferson's grand Virginia estate. It's a symbol of his intellect, design, and his deep influence on American culture and politics. The architectural lines on the coin are sharp and detailed. But here's where things get interesting. Not every 2016 P nickel came out of the mint looking perfect. Some coins were struck with die errors, doubling, or other minting imperfections that make them worth far more than their 5-cent face value. Collectors have identified several error types in the 2016 P series, and it's these errors that can turn an everyday coin into something worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. One of the most talked about errors is the double die obverse. This happens when the coin die, the tool that stamps the design, shifts slightly between strikes, causing Jefferson's features, the inscriptions, or the mint mark to appear doubled. It's not always easy to spot, but under magnification, the word Liberty, or the date 2016, might show a faint shadow effect. If you ever find this kind of doubling on your 2016 P nickel, you're looking at a very collectible piece. Another interesting variety involves die cracks or die chips. Over time, the dies used to strike coins wear down, leading to small cracks or breaks in the metal. When coins are struck using these damaged dies, raised lines or blobs of metal appear on the finished coin, often around Jefferson's eye, neck, or on the steps of Monticello. These unique imperfections are like fingerprints. No two are exactly alike. Some collectors actively seek out nickels with dramatic die cracks, paying premium prices for coins that look visually distinct or unusual. There's also the rare full steps variety, something collectors consider a hallmark of quality in Jefferson nickels. On the reverse side of the coin, at the base of Monticello, you'll see a series of steps leading up to the front of the building. A full steps nickel means that all the steps are completely visible and sharply defined, without wear or weak strikes. Achieving this level of detail during minting is difficult, so nickels with full steps command significantly higher prices, especially for modern years like 2016. If your coin has this feature, it could be worth far more than pocket change. But the story of the 2016 P nickel doesn't stop at its physical features. What really drives up the value is condition and grading. When collectors talk about a coin's grade, they're referring to its state of preservation, how close it is to mint condition. The highest grade possible is MS-70, meaning a perfect, flawless coin. Even a slight scratch, discoloration, or bag mark can drop the grade, and the value, considerably. However, 2016 P nickels graded MS-67 or higher can already attract strong demand from collectors. Many of these coins were struck sharply and preserved well, but only a small number meet the high standards needed for top grading tiers. The Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, and the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, are the two most trusted grading organizations in the world. If your 2016 P nickel is in pristine condition, submitting it to one of these companies for grading could be the best decision you ever make. A graded and certified coin holds much more credibility in the collector market and can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars more than an ungraded one. You might be wondering, why would a coin as recent as 2016 already have such collector value? The answer lies in scarcity and demand. While millions of these coins were minted, only a few exist in exceptional condition with rare errors or full steps. Coin collectors love modern varieties that are still affordable to find but have the potential to become the next big discovery. The 2016 P nickel is one such example, a bridge between modern minting and traditional collecting, offering excitement to both beginners and seasoned numismatists. Interestingly, many of the most valuable nickels ever discovered were not ancient or centuries old. They were found in pocket change or rolls of coins from banks. So yes, it's entirely possible that one of these rare 2016 P nickels could be sitting unnoticed in your change jar right now. You might have spent dozens of them already without realizing their potential worth. That's why experienced coin hunters recommend examining every nickel carefully, using a magnifying glass, looking for doubling, sharp steps, or unusual features. Even a small imperfection might turn out to be your lucky find. Now, let's talk about market trends. Over the past few years, interest in modern U.S. coins has skyrocketed. Collectors are turning their attention to coins from the 2000s and 2010s, searching for varieties, limited runs, and mint errors. As the demand rises, so does the value. Online auction platforms like eBay and Heritage Auctions have recorded impressive sales for rare 2016 P nickels in top condition. What once seemed like an ordinary 5-cent piece is now being sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars to eager collectors who understand its rarity. And remember, value isn't always about age. Sometimes it's about story. Each coin tells one. The Jeffersn nickel's story spans from the Great Depression to the digital age, from the days of Silver War nickels to the modern, precisely engineered designs we see now. The 2016 P mint marked Jeffersn nickel represents a moment in time, a reflection of America's economy, art, and technology, all captured in a small piece of metal that continues to circulate through our hands. So the next time you come across a 2016 P nickel, take a moment. Hold it up to the light. Look closely at Jefferson's face, the steps of Monticello, the mint mark, and every fine detail. Because somewhere in that small circle of metal might lie a treasure that has yet to be discovered. And that's the thrill of coin collecting, the mystery, the possibility, and the realization that history is literally in your hands. It's easy to think that only old coins, the ones from the 1800s or early 1900s, hold great value. But the 2016 P nickel reminds us that sometimes the newest coins hide the most unexpected surprises. Whether you're just getting started or you've been collecting for years, this coin is a perfect example of why it pays to look closely at every piece of change you receive. Because, believe it or not, some of these nickels have sold for unbelievable prices when discovered in flawless condition, with full steps or rare errors. So, keep your eyes open, check your pockets, and don't underestimate what might be hiding in plain sight. And now, the part you've all been waiting for, the most incredible discovery so far. Among the 2016 P. Jeffersn nickels, one extraordinary specimen, preserved in perfect condition and displaying full steps detail, sold for an astonishing amount of $18,764. In the world of American coin collecting, there are few things more exciting than discovering that a simple pocket change coin could actually be worth a small fortune. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins, the United States of America 2017 P Mint Mark Jefferson nickel, a 5-cent piece that has taken the collecting community by surprise. What makes this coin so special? Why are collectors paying huge amounts for what seems like just another nickel? Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you might be checking your change jar for a hidden treasure. Let's begin our journey back in time to understand the real story behind this coin. The Jefferson nickel has been an American classic since 1938, featuring the face of the third President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, on the obverse side, and his historic home, Monticello, on the reverse. Over the years, countless varieties and mint marks have been produced, from Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, and sometimes even West Point. But something truly special happened in 2017, and it all started with a single letter, the P Mint mark. For over 2 centuries, coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint did not carry a mint mark at all. In fact, the absence of a letter was the traditional symbol of Philadelphia. That's why when the U.S. Mint decided to include the P Mint mark on the Jefferson nickel in 2017, it marked a historic first. The very first time in American history that a circulation nickel from Philadelphia actually displayed the P. This wasn't a random decision, it was part of a grand celebration. The year 2017 marked the 225th anniversary of the United States Mint, established way back in 1792. To honor that incredible milestone, the Mint decided to do something bold and memorable. So, for 1 year only, the Jefferson nickel struck in Philadelphia proudly bore the P mark, a tiny letter with massive significance. This subtle change instantly caught the attention of coin collectors, historians, and even casual hobbyists. It was a modern coin with a story rooted deep in American history, a symbol of how far the U.S. Mint had come. At first glance, the 2017 P Jefferson nickel might look like just another coin. It's made of the same 75% copper and 25% nickel composition, weighs 5 grams, and measures 21.21 millimeters in diameter. But the real beauty lies in the details. The obverse still features the familiar bust of Thomas Jefferson, engraved by Felix Schlag, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year 2017. The reverse displays the famous image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, surrounded by E Pluribus Unum, United States of America, and 5 cents. However, that tiny P right beside Jefferson's portrait is what transforms this coin into something extraordinary. Collectors quickly realized that this mint mark wasn't just a design update, it was a 1-year-only experiment, a numismatic anomaly that would never be repeated in quite the same way. Millions of these coins entered circulation in 2017, but only a fraction remain in pristine condition today. As with all collectible coins, condition plays a huge role in determining value. Coins that are heavily circulated might still be worth only face value, but those in uncirculated, mint state, or proof-like condition can sell for impressive prices. Some have even fetched hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on grade, luster, and any unique striking errors. Speaking of errors, that's where the real excitement begins. The 2017 P Jefferson nickel is known for a number of fascinating minting errors and die varieties that have captivated collectors. Some examples include double die obverse, where the inscriptions appear slightly doubled under magnification, off-center strikes, where the design is noticeably shifted, and even die cracks that create raised lines across the coin's surface. Each of these imperfections tells a small story of how that individual nickel came to be, making it one of a kind. Imagine finding a coin in your pocket that has a striking error like that, something no one else in the world has. It's like holding a small piece of minting history that survived the presses and the passing years, now sitting quietly among billions of others, waiting for someone sharp-eyed enough to notice. Another fascinating detail lies in how this coin bridges old and new collecting generations. Longtime coin enthusiasts see the 2017 P nickel as a historical landmark, a physical reminder of 225 years of minting excellence. Younger collectors, especially those who started collecting from pocket change or coin rolls, see it as a modern-day treasure hunt. It's the kind of coin that connects people across generations, from grandfathers who once collected silver coins to young kids learning the thrill of finding something valuable in everyday life. The U.S. Mint itself described this nickel as a tribute to history. And indeed, that's exactly what it has become. When 2018 rolled around, the Mint quietly removed the P Mint mark again, returning to the traditional design. That made the 2017 version a one-year-only issue, cementing its collectible status forever. Now, let's talk about the values. In circulated condition, most 2017 P nickels may only fetch a few cents above face value. But when you move into higher grades, coins rated MS65 or MS67 by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, the story changes dramatically. Collectors prize those coins for their sharp details, unblemished surfaces, and brilliant luster. And then there are the extremely rare specimens, the kind with near-perfect grades or visible striking errors. Over the years, certain examples have sold for thousands at auctions. People have been stunned to learn that what once jingled in their pocket could now pay for a month's rent or more. Some collectors even hoard rolls of 2017 P nickels, believing their value will only increase as the years pass and fewer pristine examples remain. It's a perfect combination of rarity, historical importance, and modern accessibility, the three factors that often define a truly collectible coin. But what really makes this coin fascinating is its symbolism. The P Mint mark stands for Philadelphia, the birthplace of American coinage. It's where the first U.S. Mint was established under the guidance of George Washington and the nation's first Secretary of the Treasury, Alexander Hamilton. That tiny letter, P, represents not just a minting location, it represents the spirit of American craftsmanship, innovation, and progress that has lasted for more than 2 centuries. The Jeffersn nickel itself has always been a coin of quiet dignity. Unlike flashy silver dollars or limited commemoratives, it's an everyday coin, the kind that millions handle without a second thought. And yet, the 2017 P version proves that even the most ordinary-looking things can hold extraordinary value when you know their story. If you have a jar of change at home, a collection of old nickels, or even a few coins sitting in your car's cup holder, it might be worth taking a closer look. You never know what treasures could be hiding in plain sight. Pay special attention to those with the 2017 date and that small P Mint mark beside Jefferson's bust. Inspect them under good lighting, check for errors, and if the coin looks flawless, consider having it graded. It's always amazing how small details, a misplaced letter, a doubled line, or a single mint mark, can turn a regular coin into a collector's dream. The 2017 P Jeffersn nickel reminds us that history is still being written in metal and minted into the very coins we use every day. Collectors across the country continue to trade, grade, and treasure these nickels. Some even predict that as time goes on, the 2017 P nickel will become a key date in the Jeffersn series, a turning point marking the fusion of tradition and modern minting. It's a coin that celebrates both the past and the present, a quiet piece of history that sits right in the palm of your hand. So, next time you receive change at a store or bank, take a second to look down at your nickels. That small glint of metal might hold a big story, and maybe, just maybe, a big payday too. Because believe it or not, one rare and special 2017 P Jeffersn nickel 5-cent coin has sold for a truly astonishing $15,555. Yes, a simple 5-cent coin turned into a treasure worth that much money. That's the magic of numismatics, where history, rarity, and luck all come together in the most unexpected way. So keep your eyes open, keep collecting, and who knows, your next nickel might just change your life. In the heart of every coin collector's dream lies the possibility of discovering a simple, everyday coin that's actually worth a small fortune. What if I told you that one of the modern coins you might carry around right now, a 2020 P Mint marked Jeffersn nickel, could be worth far more than just 5 cents? Yes, this isn't a story about old, ancient, or centuries-old coins. This is about a coin that's modern, shiny, and possibly sitting unnoticed in your pocket change right now. Let's take a fascinating dive into the world of the 2020 P Jeffersn nickel, exploring its design, hidden details, minting background, the intriguing reasons why collectors chase it, and how a few of these coins have turned into valuable treasures that make collectors' hearts race. So, get comfortable. And let's explore how a simple nickel minted just a few years ago became one of the most talked about modern collectibles in the world of numismatics. It all starts in the year 2020, a year remembered for many things. But while the world was shifting through uncertain times, the U.S. Mint continued its legacy of producing millions of coins that would silently circulate across the nation. Among them was the Jefferson nickel, a coin that has been an American icon since 1938. The 2020 Jefferson nickel was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, as identified by the small letter P found to the right of Thomas Jefferson's portrait. To the casual eye, this might look like any other nickel. But for collectors and experts who understand the minute differences in coin production, the 2020 P nickel holds many surprises. Let's begin with its design. On the obverse side, or the front of the coin, we see the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and one of the Founding Fathers. His calm yet focused expression, facing forward, replaced the older left-facing design back in 2006. The detail in his eyes, the sharpness of his hair, and the clarity of the word, Liberty, written in his own handwriting make this design not only artistic but also historically personal. On the reverse side, the back, you'll find the image of Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia. The architectural details of the mansion, the steps, and the dome reflect America's neoclassical beauty and Jefferson's own creative genius. Surrounding it are the inscriptions: E pluribus unum, United States of America, and 5 cents. Now, if you think all 2020 nickels are the same, here's where things get interesting. During the minting process, thousands of coins can develop errors, small imperfections that transform a regular nickel into a collectible marvel. For instance, there are die cracks, where small lines appear across Jefferson's face or Monticello's steps, formed by worn-out dies during striking. There are off-center strikes, where parts of the design are missing because the coin wasn't properly aligned during minting. There are also double dies, where certain letters or features look slightly duplicated. These are especially sought after by collectors because they show a clear minting mistake that happened before the coin ever left the factory. Some 2020 P nickels have also been found with grease-filled errors, which cause parts of the design to vanish or look faint. Imagine holding a nickel where Jefferson's eye looks ghostly or where part of the word Monticello appears smudged or missing. Those imperfections can make the coin worth far more than its face value. But what truly makes the 2020 P Jefferson nickel special is how high-grade examples, coins that were struck perfectly, with sharp details and mirror-like luster, have captivated collectors. The grading system, used by experts, ranges from pur P1 all the way up to the perfect mint state 70, MS70. Coins that are graded MS66, MS67, or higher are incredibly rare for modern nickels because even the slightest scratch or contact mark can drop their value dramatically. Many collectors send their coins to grading services such as PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, to get them certified. A 2020 P Jefferson nickel in mint state 67 or 68 condition can sell for hundreds, sometimes even thousands of dollars, depending on its surface quality and eye appeal. Now, you might be wondering, how can you tell if your 2020 P nickel could be worth more than face value? Here's what you should look for. First, check for mint luster, that shiny, almost frosted appearance across the surface of the coin. A coin that still glows under light likely hasn't circulated much. Second, look for sharp details. Jefferson's hair strands should be crisp, and Monticello's columns should be fully defined. Third, search carefully for errors, tiny cracks, doubling on letters like Liberty or In God We Trust, or missing details can make a massive difference. Even something as simple as a die chip on Jefferson's cheek or near his eye can add collector value because it proves your coin came from a specific, flawed batch of dies. Collectors today are fascinated by modern coins like the 2020 P nickel because they represent the bridge between everyday money and hidden treasure. You don't need to dig through ancient vaults or auction houses. You can find one of these in your loose change, in a jar on your shelf, or even in a handful of coins you get as change from a store. In fact, Stories have emerged of lucky finders who discovered high-grade examples of 2020p nickels and sent them in for grading, only to find their coins were worth hundreds of times their face value. What's even more fascinating is the low mintage circulation quality that year. Because of the pandemic and the coin shortage in 2020, the mint's distribution of nickels was inconsistent, which led to certain rolls of 2020p nickels being hoarded by collectors and coin roll hunters. Some of these rolls contained coins with pristine surfaces, near perfect, making them modern-day treasures waiting to be discovered. Another layer of intrigue lies in the Philadelphia Mint's production quirks. Being one of the oldest and busiest mints, small die inconsistencies or subtle polishing marks often appear on their coins. When those patterns repeat in only a handful of examples, collectors can trace their origin, making those specific nickels even rarer. One such variety reported among collectors is the full steps Monticello nickel. This refers to the clear visibility of all the steps on the building's front. On many nickels, those steps get flattened during striking, but if you find one where all 5 or 6 steps are completely visible, it's considered a gem. Coins with full steps, grades, especially those from 2020, can command surprisingly high prices among serious Jeffersn nickel enthusiasts. If you're thinking about checking your pocket change tonight, here's what you should do. Take your 2020 nickels and look for that P mint mark beside Jefferson's shoulder. Hold the coin under a bright light or a magnifier. Study the surfaces, the letters, and Monticello's details. Even tiny irregularities could mean you're looking at a valuable piece of modern minting history. But the story doesn't stop there. Collectors believe that many rare examples of the 2020p nickel are still out there, unrecognized, sitting in jars, or waiting to be spent unknowingly. The idea that a coin minted so recently could one day become a key rarity excites collectors, investors, and everyday hobbyists alike. The Jeffersn nickel series itself holds an important place in American history. Since its introduction in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, it has witnessed decades of design evolution, from wartime silver nickels to the Westward Journey series in the early 2000s, and now the modern Jeffersn we recognize today. The 2020 issue is a continuation of that proud legacy, and certain examples are destined to become tomorrow's prized collectibles. What makes coins like this so special is that they connect people directly with American history and artistry. Every coin tells a story, not just of the figure it portrays, but of the era it represents, the technology used to mint it, and even the people who unknowingly pass it along in daily life. For many, coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a treasure hunt where knowledge meets luck. The thrill of holding a nickel that could be worth thousands, knowing it once sat unnoticed among millions of others, is a feeling few can describe. So, next time you get change from a store or open an old coin jar, pay close attention to those nickels, especially the 2020p mint marked Jeffersn nickels. Examine their shine, their steps, and their details. Because one of them could just be that rare find every collector dreams of. And for the lucky few who have found high quality, or rare examples of this coin, the rewards have been astounding. Yes, believe it or not, one such 2020p mint marked Jeffersn nickel 5-cent coin has been valued at an incredible $14,653. Welcome back everyone to World Information HD. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that's much newer than most of the treasures we talk about, a modern piece of US coinage that has surprised collectors around the world with its unexpected rarity and incredible value. We're talking about the United States of America 2022p mint marked Jeffersn nickel, the 5-cent coin that might just be hiding a small fortune right in your pocket change. At first glance, this 2022 nickel looks like any other modern coin you'd see every day. You might have used one just this morning at a vending machine or found one at the bottom of your drawer. But believe it or not, certain examples of this coin have fetched thousands of dollars at auctions, and the reasons why will absolutely fascinate you. So, make sure you watch till the end, because we'll reveal how to identify if your 2022p Jeffersn nickel could be worth a life-changing amount of money. Now, before we dive into the value, let's start by understanding the coin itself. The Jeffersn nickel has been a part of American history since 1938, when it replaced the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, It features a left-facing portrait of America's third president, Thomas Jefferson. The reverse side showcases Jefferson's home, Monticello, a symbol of architecture and history, perfectly captured in miniature form. Fast forward to 2022, and the nickel still carries this iconic design, though modern minting technology has added sharper details, cleaner finishes, and refined edges. The P Mint mark just below the year indicates that this coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the most active mints in the country. Billions of nickels roll out every year. But even within such mass production, remarkable errors and varieties can occur, creating rare treasures for sharp-eyed collectors. So, what makes the 2022 P. Jefferson nickel so special? Well, the story begins with a few unusual minting errors that went unnoticed during production. It wasn't long before collectors started discovering odd-looking nickels with double strikes, off-center features, or die cracks, imperfections that instantly boosted their collectible status. But even among these, one particular type stood out: the die break across Jefferson's face, a faint raised line that appears almost like a scar running down his cheek. To the untrained eye, it might look like a scratch, but experts know that it's actually a minting flaw caused by pressure and stress in the die. These tiny errors can make an ordinary coin unique, and uniqueness in the world of numismatics equals value. Collectors across the United States began inspecting their 2022 nickels closely, especially those from the Philadelphia Mint. Social media groups, online auction platforms, and coin forums exploded with discussions. Photos of nickels with partial letters missing, ghostly images, or doubled designs started circulating online. And soon, the market began responding with serious money. Imagine holding a coin that's just a few years old, shiny, modern, and seemingly common, yet worth thousands of dollars simply because of a rare flaw or mint condition perfection. That's exactly what's happening with the 2022 P. Jefferson nickel. Now, let's explore how condition and grading play a major role in the coin's worth. When it comes to modern coins, quality matters more than ever. A 2022 nickel straight out of a fresh roll might look flawless to the naked eye, but professional graders use powerful microscopes and lighting to identify the smallest imperfections. If your nickel has no scratches, no wear, and a strong, bold strike with deep details on Jefferson's hair and Monticello's columns, it might earn a high mint state, MS, grade from coin grading agencies like PCGS or NGC. Coins that reach grades such as MS67, MS68, or even higher are extremely rare, especially with perfect luster and no marks. One of these top-graded 2022 P nickels was recently auctioned, catching everyone's attention when the final bid shocked collectors. What makes this even more astonishing is that the coin was not ancient. It was something that could have been pulled out of circulation just months before. Another fascinating aspect of the 2022 nickel story involves what collectors call strike doubling. This is when certain letters, often in Liberty or In God We Trust, appear slightly thicker or shadowed, creating a doubled appearance. While machine doubling is common and doesn't always add much value, true doubled die varieties are extremely valuable because they result from a unique error during the creation of the die itself. For the 2022 P. Jefferson nickel, experts are still discovering and cataloging new varieties. Some show a faint doubling on Jefferson's eye or lips, others around the Monticello building. As these varieties are confirmed, their rarity increases, and so does their market price. Collectors are also paying attention to full-step nickels. If you flip your 2022 P nickel and look at the steps of Monticello, you'll notice horizontal lines at the base of the building. On many coins, these steps appear blurred or partially worn, but when they're sharply struck and all 6 steps are visible, the coin qualifies as a full steps variety, and that's where serious value comes into play. Only a small percentage of nickels ever achieve the full steps designation, and for modern issues like the 2022 P, that makes them particularly desirable. Some full step nickels have sold for thousands of dollars, even when they're only a few years old. Now, let's talk about where to find these hidden treasures. The best part about the 2022 P. Jefferson nickel is that you don't need to go treasure hunting in antique shops or old estates. You can find them right in your change. Bank rolls, pocket change, or even Coinstar reject trays can yield valuable finds. Coin collectors recommend buying rolls of nickels directly from banks and searching them carefully under bright light and magnification. You might be lucky enough to discover one of those elusive full-step nickels, or even better, an error coin with a visible die crack, misalignment, or doubled features. If you do find something unusual, don't clean it, don't polish it, and definitely don't spend it. Cleaning a coin can destroy its surface and instantly reduce its value. Instead, store it in a protective case and consider getting it graded by a professional. Collectors also recommend using reference websites and coin community forums to compare your findings. The numismatic community is full of helpful experts who can assist in identifying whether your coin is a simple variation or a rare treasure. And while not every 2022 P. Jefferson nickel is worth a fortune, the potential for hidden value makes collecting these coins incredibly exciting. The thrill of the hunt, finding something extraordinary in something ordinary, is what keeps the world of coin collecting alive and thriving. Beyond errors and conditions, the 2022 P nickel holds cultural significance too. It represents the continuing legacy of American coinage and how modern technology meets tradition. Even in the digital age, physical coins tell a story of design, history, and craftsmanship that connects us to decades of national pride. For some collectors, owning a 2022 P. Jefferson nickel with a rare feature is like owning a small piece of American history in motion. It's a reminder that even the newest coins can hold mysteries worth exploring. So, how can you determine whether your coin might be valuable? Here's a quick checklist. Look for the P mint mark just beside Jefferson's portrait. That identifies it as the Philadelphia issue. Examine the details. Jefferson's hair, cheekbone, and Monticello's steps should all be sharp and well-defined. Use a magnifier to spot any doubling, die cracks, or other odd marks. Check if the coin appears perfectly centered. Off-center strikes are another sign of rarity. Finally, preserve the coin's condition. Handling it carefully and avoiding any surface damage is key to maintaining its potential value. If all of these align, you might be sitting on something truly special. And if you're lucky enough to have your coin professionally graded at a top-tier level, you'll be amazed at how much collectors are willing to pay. As the market for modern era coins continues to grow, coins like the 2022 P. Jefferson nickel are becoming more desirable by the day. Auction results and online sales show just how quickly demand can push prices upward. What once was a simple 5-cent coin can suddenly become a collector's dream, worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, next time you're sorting through your change, don't ignore that shiny 2022 nickel. Take a closer look, it might just be the key to a surprising payday. These modern-day minting marvels remind us that value can still be found in the most unexpected places.